Hey, it's Will here for HairGuard. In this video, I want to give you an updated edition of the best natural DHT blockers for hair loss. For a lot of people, myself included, we had side effects using a medical DHT blocker like finasteride. If you're in the same situation, you've probably been left wondering, are there any natural DHT blockers that actually work without side effects? And that's exactly what I'm going to answer in this video. By the end of this video, you'll know about the 6 most powerful natural DHT blockers. I'll review the evidence for each along with looking at their possible side effects. And I'll provide you tips on the best way to use each DHT blocker most effectively, be that topically or orally. By the end, you should have a really good idea if they're the right fit for you, and if so, how to use them most effectively. Let's get started. There are several natural DHT blockers that may help prevent hair loss, and in this video, we're going to focus on the top 6. For anybody worried about hair loss, I recommend checking out the most powerful hair regrowth protocol that I've been using with the link in the description. Number 1, saw palmetto. Saw palmetto is probably the most well-known of the natural DHT blockers. It's a herbal supplement from a plant native to North America. It works by inhibiting the activity of 5-alpha reductase, the enzyme that converts testosterone into DHT. Well, actually, that's how most DHT blockers work. There have been some small-scale studies on saw palmetto, but the largest one to date gave quite positive results. This 2012 study out of Italy consisted of 100 men total, all of which were diagnosed with hair loss. The participants were split into 2 groups. The first group took 320 milligrams of saw palmetto daily, while the second group 1 milligram of finasteride daily. Finasteride being the so-called gold standard of DHT blockers. Both groups were treated for 24 months. At the end, 38% of participants on saw palmetto saw hair growth compared to 68% of those on finasteride. It's important to bear in mind that regrowth was relatively mild in both groups. Often it was barely visible to the naked eye, even in the finasteride group. What you're typically looking for in a DHT blocker first and foremost is to prevent future hair loss. Stabilize the hair so that you can target regrowth by stacking other treatments on top of the DHT blocker. And in this aspect, the results were similar, with 90% of men in either group not losing further hair. This result suggests that saw palmetto might be equal to finasteride in terms of stabilizing hair loss. This study, along with word of mouth among men with hair loss, made saw palmetto a frontline treatment option for men who want to block their DHT without finasteride. While it's certainly not as strong as finasteride, it will slow down or freeze hair loss in many men. Side effects are rare, and sexual side effects are more or less unheard of, both in scientific literature as well as the anecdotal reports on forums, Reddits, etc. You can get it in both a capsule or powder form, and it's very affordable. 320 milligrams daily is a tried and tested option you can start off with and adjust from there accordingly. So guys, let me know in the comments if you've tried saw palmetto and what your results were. Okay, next up is pumpkin seed oil. While it's been used mainly as a cooking oil, pumpkin seed oil also has strong health properties, it seems. It contains various saturated and unsaturated fatty acids like linoleic acid, palmitic acid, and others. It also contains beta-cytosterol, which is probably responsible for its DHT blocking action. It can be consumed as a dietary supplement or applied topically to the scalp. So one study published in 2014 found that pumpkin seed oil was effective in reducing hair loss in men with mild to moderate androgenetic alopecia. The study involved 76 men who were given either a placebo or the supplement containing pumpkin seed oil for 24 weeks. Those who took the pumpkin seed oil supplement experienced a greater improvement in their hair growth and a reduction in hair loss compared to the placebo group. Another study published in 2021 also found that pumpkin seed oil was effective in improving hair growth in women with AGA. The study compared topical pumpkin seed oil to minoxidil. While minoxidil did give stronger growth overall, there were also clear signs of regrowth in the pumpkin seed group. Typical doses of oral administration are between 500 to 1,000 milligrams daily, and side effects seem to be rare. Okay, up next, green tea. So the various colors of tea like green, black, or yellow all come from the same plant. The difference is how the tea leaves are processed. After they're harvested, they can either be fermented, semi-fermented, or non-fermented. Whilst black tea comes from fully fermented leaves, green tea is non-fermented, and this lack of fermentation is what allows green tea to retain most of its nutrients, which is why it's by far the most popular medicinal tea. Health benefits of green tea are due to its high concentration of so-called catechin polyphenols. Polyphenols are plant compounds that have been researched as treatments for a range of health conditions. The most plentiful polyphenol in green tea is EGCG. Other polyphenols in green tea are ECG, EC, and EGC. These are powerful antioxidants that have also been researched as potentially lowering cholesterol and possibly preventing certain tumors. When it comes to hair loss, green tea is thought to work in 3 different ways. Firstly, by improving circulation in the scalp. Secondly, due to the strong antioxidant effects of ECGC, and lastly by interfering with the conversion of testosterone into DHT. The evidence for its DHT blocking effects come primarily from in vitro data studies in a petri dish. So scientists measured its effects on DHT production in the lab and found it slows it down. There have also been interesting studies showing the ingredients of green tea can accelerate the growth of hair follicles in vitro. Green tea for hair loss can be used either topically or orally, but almost nobody uses it topically because it just can get super messy. For oral administration, you can straight up drink the stuff, aiming for at least 2 cups per day. Also popular is the more concentrated version called matcha tea. This is basically finely powdered green tea leaves. Since the leaves are powdered down, they can be drunk easily. Matcha gives you higher doses of EGCG and is closer to taking the extract as a supplement. The problem with matcha tea is you may get higher concentrations of caffeine and heavy metal contaminants like lead and arsenic. So make sure you look for high quality matcha that is carefully sourced and free from heavy metals, because those definitely won't help your hair. If you don't want to drink the actual tea, you can purchase ready-made extracts in the form of capsules. Okay, next up is Pygeum bark. Pygeum bark is a powerful antioxidant derived from the bark of the African cherry tree. Now, we don't have any studies directly examining its effects against hair loss. The evidence for its DHT blocking properties comes from a different condition altogether, benign prostate enlargement. This is the non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate that is common in older men. Though while it's not life-threatening, it can cause difficulty urinating and other problems. And DHT is a well-known causal factor of prostate enlargement, meaning that when you inhibit its production, you can shrink the enlarged prostate and relieve the symptoms. Most sales of pharmaceutical DHT blockers like finasteride and dutasteride are actually from men with prostate enlargement rather than hair loss, interestingly. Pygeum has also been used to relieve prostate enlargement going back many decades, and there have been many small-scale studies. In 1998, a review study compiled data from all those previous studies. Between them, they had recruited over 1,500 men. The results were straightforward. Overall, those treated with Pygeum bark were twice as likely as the placebo group to report improvement of their symptoms. So we do have indirect evidence that Pygeum blocks DHT, relieving prostate enlargement, and there have also been some preliminary results in vitro. Having said that, its use amongst men with hair loss is still pretty limited. Perhaps that will change in the future. Hopefully, we get some good large-scale studies. You can supplement with Pygeum in tablet or powder form. 100 milligrams per day is the most common dosage. Okay, on to the next one, stinging nettle. Stinging nettle is a common flowering plant native to North America, Europe, and Asia. You've probably brushed against it many times playing in nature as a child, and you'll know firsthand how unpleasant it is to touch. In spite of this, it's actually a very beneficial supplement when consumed orally, commonly used against hay fever and allergies. It's believed to work against hair loss in 3 ways: by reducing inflammation in the scalp, neutralizing free radicals, and blocking DHT. A study published in the Journal of Herbal Pharmacotherapy in 2005 found that nettle root extract was effective in inhibiting the activity of 5-alpha reductase. The study involves 620 men with benign prostatic hyperplasia, which we saw is also linked to DHT. Similar results were found in other studies. Nettle root contains several compounds that may contribute to its DHT blocking and hair loss prevention benefits, including lignans and beta-cytosterol. These compounds are believed to inhibit the activity of 5-alpha reductase and reduce the production of DHT. Overall, however, nettle is a weaker DHT blocker compared to some of the other compounds in today's video. If you want to try it on your own hair loss, our suggestion would be to combine it with other natural DHT blockers rather than as a standalone treatment. 120 milligrams of extract daily is the standard dosage. Aside from some rare allergic reactions, there are more or less no side effects, it seems. Okay guys, on to the next one, zinc. So zinc is a mineral that plays a role in many physiological processes. Among others, it's an antioxidant, supports the immune system, cognitive functioning, and wound healing. It's also involved in the regulation of hormones, including androgens like testosterone. Now, the evidence for zinc's role in promoting hair growth is indirect, but very interesting all the same. For starters, it's been shown that severe zinc deficiency can trigger hair loss in the form of telogen effluvium. This is generalized hair loss with abrupt onset that results in visible diffuse thinning. Researchers have also found that compared to men with healthy hair, those who suffer from androgenetic alopecia have on average lower blood levels of zinc, which is really interesting. More recent research has also found that among balding men undergoing minoxidil treatment, higher zinc blood levels predict treatment success. In other words, those with high zinc levels are more likely to see good regrowth. When the plasma concentration of zinc was less than 10 micromoles per liter, treatment was likely to be ineffective. But when it was above this threshold, it would most likely be successful. Other researchers have found that zinc is involved in the regulation of hair follicle dermapapilla cells. These are specialized cells located at the base of the hair follicles that play a crucial role in hair growth. Zinc is also required for the proper functioning of enzymes involved in DNA synthesis and repair, which are essential for healthy hair growth. So all these strands of evidence suggest a role for zinc in hair loss, though it's not exactly clear what this is. As a word of caution, while these studies are generally encouraging, some users anecdotally report that zinc actually exacerbated their hair loss. So you might want to try some other natural treatments discussed in today's video before considering zinc, or get your zinc levels tested first. If you do give zinc a try, make sure not to exceed 30 or 40 milligrams daily. Now guys, I promised you 6 natural DHT blockers, but I wanted to add a bonus 7th. Oxygen is one of the primary molecules transported through the bloodstream, and it's a main reason why poor circulation can lead to problems in the affected tissues. When tissues are starved of oxygen, this is known as hypoxia, and studies suggest that in balding scalp, blood flow might suffer, which leads to low oxygen condition known as hypoxia. Some scientists have suggested that this hypoxic scalp environment, apart from being directly damaging to the hair follicles, might also encourage the local conversion of testosterone into DHT. On the flip side, well-oxygenated tissue might favor the conversion of testosterone into its other main metabolite, estradiol, meaning less DHT is created and the miniaturization process is averted. Guys, this is why the Groban Pro is a great choice for many people. Our study showed during and after using the Groban, users had higher blood flow levels in their scalp, which lasted more than half an hour after stopping. That increased blood flow, which is carrying oxygen, can in theory help reduce the DHT. So there you have it guys, those are the options for natural DHT blockers. Just keep in mind these plant-based blockers aren't standardized, so the quality and potency can vary a lot, giving different results. That's the biggest advantage of finasteride. You know exactly what you're getting and it's very, very targeted. So I hope that was helpful. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Also head over to hairguard.com where we have the world's best hair growth products. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.